contact. We'll apply that. I'm going to add a filter. And we're going to go to activity. No, hang on. I just had it. I thought it was a drop down in the last activity. No. What is the last? All right, last contacted. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Phone. Was it a phone contact?
Yes.
And the last what?
Well, I think maybe last 3 days get better. But before that, I have a question.
Yes.
Beverly, that, and also Crystal, because we spoke this morning, remember?
Yeah.
That this lead that just came in last night, it's her name is Jennifer, I believe. Jennifer what?
I think she's
just the latest one that I have. That is, I think that one came in last night, Jennifer. I think we discussed that, Crystal, this morning, that she's not a buyer, she's a renter.
Yes.
So what happened, I noticed that when she went on website and she created something for her, normally I'm watching for like my campaign started only since last Monday. Every time they go on website, they register themselves, and then right after that, when they set up something, they get a text message. But in her case, she did not receive, or even a text message was not gone out. So what I'm trying to say here is that I spoke to few people, including Crystal, that I think there are still few things that needs to iron out in this process, because I think consistency is important. I am also just jumping to start using the system, but I think these few things, if you can make a note of that, I don't know, like why, and I spoke to
yeah, so the text message, so what happens is when a lead registers in the middle of the night, you have what we call silent hours. So they're not getting a text message from you in the middle of the night because
got it. Thank you.
And so it'll go out the following day, but you may have called prior to that text actually going out, and you made contact with her, so it just stopped the campaign from going out.
Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, that makes actually more sense. You don't want you don't want somebody like ringing their phone with the text like middle of the night, even though it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's good. Okay, got it. Clear.
So these are the leads that you have called that you made contact with in the last 3 days. There's 9 of them. So that's how you find them.
Names are blurry for me. I don't know how.
I have them blurred because we're live and other people can see the leads.
Oh, okay.
We're protecting you.
Oh, there you go. Good.
But that's how you do it. You just utilize your filters right here, and you say pipeline, made contact, was last contacted, phone only, last 3 days.
Okay.
Now, when I look at this, I have heart palpitations because when I see contacted leads, that tells me there was a conversation or they've responded. And in order for us to not lose leads and be able to find them quickly, we have to start organizing them by priority. So let's use Jennifer as an example. She's your top one here. So you had a conversation with her. One of 2 things has to happen in order to not lose a lead after you've had a conversation. There has to be a task set, or there has to be a tag applied. And the reason being, I don't want to have to open that to know what's going on. I can look at, well, you don't have any task set for anybody. Well, this one right here. I'm like, okay, task set, good, great. I don't have to worry about if there's a task set or not. The only time we have to worry about is when they're overdue. But reality is, I like to be able to look at a lead from the dashboard and know, oh, I contacted them. She's a renter. I don't have to open it up to look at the notes. So that's when we utilize the tags. So we can get, what was her situation?
So she actually went on website last night. She looked at 2 homes through her search. And they are, one of them is a mobile trailer, and one is, I think, a condo townhouse.
Okay.
But when I spoke to her, she said, I'm not interested in buying. I was just looking. I am a renter, and I need a rental place again after March.
So that's going to be a situation, renting. Because you're not going to be working with her, correct?
I mean, I said to her that I'm going to try to find her a place, but the range and the area she is in, it doesn't look like there's much available with that
With the needle.
limitations and all that. So well, it's an open thing, right? So I will see what can be done.
And this is where we can prevent ourselves from overtasking, because
Correct.
she's not a super high priority, but yet you want to know from the dashboard perspective without having to open it up and look at leads, because as you're acquiring leads month after month, your list starts growing.
Right.
And when you're looking at that, you want to be able to quickly recognize, oh, they have a label. So, oh, they have a situation label. And that's why on the tags, labels are the same thing. That's why we put these little, what we want to call them, prefixes on there, so that we can quickly identify from the dashboard, oh, they're a buyer lost. Oh, they're a future opportunity. Ooh, they're a situation. Or they're a buyer lost with a situation, or a future opportunity with a situation. Because the reality with the tags are, they're not dynamic. If she goes to be a buyer, that tag's not going to remove itself and say buyer. Tags label the lead with a certain situation, with a certain task, not task, but with a certain reason why they don't need your services. Where the tasks are dynamic. They will tell you when it's overdue. And they count down to tell you when it's going to be due, because you can hover when you're on that dashboard. You can quickly see, oh, well, she's renting. Oh, all right, I got a task here. It's due March. Cool. So when you look at your contacted, you should see a situation tag, buyer lost or future opportunity, or a reminder. If not, they're going to get lost, because I have to open this up to see what's going on with the notes. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's really the huge piece of maximizing your return on your investment, is by keeping your leads organized and being able to find them very quickly. And, you know, I always say this, it's just like when you have a grocery store list and you want to go in the grocery store and get in and out as quickly as possible. So our leads are the same way. If you know, oh my gosh, I had this renter, oh, I can't remember her name, I'll just go to my renter tab. And you're only going to be looking at 5 people, 10 people. And then you can look at, as long as you're logging your calls, you can go, oh, it's Jennifer, because I remember I talked to her 2 days ago.
So you think that we should create a filter for renters?
Create a what?
A filter for renters?
Well, it basically did filter her by tagging them, because when you tag a lead, it puts them into that category. So here's your tags. Situation, renting. Oh, why didn't it go in there? Oh, wait, retiring, that's why. I guess I need to go to the eye doctor. Let me adjust my glasses here. So this is your filter. So it shows you how many are in there. So when you're on your dashboard and you start grouping your leads together, we can go over here, we can do tag and do renter. That's fine. It's going to pull up everybody that you tagged. So these are, so the pipeline stage, you've got telling you that you've had communication. And this is like building the aisles in your grocery store. When you go in the grocery store, you have the overhanging sign that tells you what you can get in what aisle.
Sorry to interrupt. If I press the button create company, that will create a permanent filter for this category, I think.
Yeah, if you go right here and name it.
And it will show up in the filter.
Right here.
Drop down, right?
If you do it as a company, it'll show up here. If you do it as a personal, it'll show up here. So
what you were doing, this filter name was personal, right? Personal filter?
I did. Well, the filter that I set to do a couple dials today, if you wanted me to do some dials, is I just said it's January 15th list, and I made it as a personal. overthinking things and by creating too many filters, because you can always pull it very quickly just by doing tag and renting.
Correct. Got it. Yep.
Because really, when you think about your priority of leads, they're going to go in the order of new. They're your highest priority because you got to find out where they are in the process.
Right.
And then the next stage of priorities are who registered in the last 14 days. Because if they registered in the last 14 days, we want to hear their story quicker than 3 months from now, whenever you call them and they say they already purchased. So our priority is a little bit more consistency on the leads that registered the last 2 weeks. And then our next priority is the leads that are actively engaged with looking at properties or opening your emails within the last 30 days. So those are the filters that need to be saved to go, I got to catch these people. I got to catch these people because I have to be consistent. And I've never spoke to any of these. And of course, your tasks are a very high priority to be able to make sure you stay on point and don't go overdo with your tasks. And the next thing is when you have the extra credit, as I call it, you can pull up a couple of different groups that you've tagged. And my favorite one is I have an agent. Okay, well, how did you meet your agent? Well, how soon are you looking to make a purchase? If anything changes, would you mind giving me a call? So you put them in as an agent, but maybe they're still on there looking and it's been 4 months since you've talked to them and they're still actively engaged. That is high prime priority right there to just say, I'm just checking to see how your home search is going. They may have ditched their agent. They may have taken 2 months off and they just started their home search again and they don't even think about calling the agent, because all your internet leads are only going to do business with people that are convenient, period. So if you happen to call them at the right time, you're going to be the convenient agent and you didn't take anything away from anybody. So that's really the only reason we go to the tags, is that extra credit of people that are retiring, divorcing, relocating, all those different situations. And when we go to the tag and we're looking at 5 to 10 leads, we can see across the dashboard the last conversation we had, the last email, text, and we know what their activity's been. So if you have someone you haven't talked to in 6 months and they're actively engaged, it's time to check in. Or if it's 4 months and it's somebody that is, let's think of a situation here. We move people into just looking. So when they say, well, you know what, I'm just looking, I'm really not sure what I'm looking for. I'd like to move within the next year, but I know nothing's going to be happening until, at least 8 to 9 months from now. When you go to the people that are just looking, if they haven't looked at properties in a month, 2 months, but they're going to be making a move within that year, that's when you pick up the phone and go, hey, I know that we've been sending you some updates on what's going on with the market. I just want to make sure that you're getting our emails. Oh, by the way, has anything changed? Then that way you don't have to open up every single lead to look at the notes, because it doesn't matter. They're all in the same situation. You're looking at 10 at one time. You can be much more efficient with who you need to call and who you need to check in on. Is that helpful?
Yep. Well, I'll get a better handle, I think, by time. I believe that it's just beginning. And yeah, okay.
But
actually, Crystal gave me some directions already, so I'm going to be working on that filter number 4, I think, over here. And yeah, okay.
Fantastic. I mean, these are really this is your template to be successful. And once the systems are in place and you've got that consistency, then you can really focus on the conversation, because the conversation is the most important piece to stand out from your competition. And the one thing that people are greatly responsive to is answering questions. So when we get into that mode of when we have a conversation with somebody, we have to go into investigative mode to find out what has to happen for them to be able to make a move. What is the reason why looking to possibly make a move? Once we start answering those questions, then we can determine, Are they in need of our service? Are they going to be in need of our service? And can I meet their expectations? And that's a big one, depending on what's your price point in your market.
Sorry, you asking a question here?
Yeah, what's your average price range in your market?
I mean, which market you're talking about? Right now, I'm running a campaign in Mississauga, but are you talking about geography or are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm not talking about any market. I'm just talking about your market. So if you have two different markets, what is your average price range?
Well, I would say that from $500,000 to $1 million.
Okay. So if you have, now when I say we're looking for people that you can help meet their expectations, if you have a $500,000 price point and someone's looking at $400,000, you might not be able to meet their expectations. And we have to be okay with telling them that and being honest with them. Saying, okay, I know you want to be in this price range. However, the location that you're looking in, it's really not going to happen right now. Do you have to move or do you want to move? And
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. Sorry.
Well, if they have to move, what's your plan B? Because it's not going to happen in this market. So either you have to come up in your price range or we're going to have to change locations. Because the last thing you want to do is overpromise. Because I will promise you every agent that they're talking to will take them out and start showing them properties and hope that they increase their budget. Agents are too afraid to be honest with the buyers and let them know exactly what they can't get and what they can get. And then that's why a lot of the buyers get, they just get frustrated because they'll come to me and they'll go, Bev, I've been working with this agent. They're showing me properties that I don't even, they're out of my price range. Well, yeah, they're out of your price range because there's no properties in your price range. And then when you get real with them, they're like, oh. Because they think just because you have a real estate license, you know everything and you're going to find them a house. They don't realize what the market is dictating because we give the leads way too much credit for knowledge of what's going on in the real estate industry. Just because we live it, eat it, breathe it, and we know it so well, we automatically think that they know it and they don't. So how do you feel about your conversations whenever you're talking to leads and asking them questions and getting enough information to make a determination?
Before I answer your question, do you mind if I ask, do we have other people on the call?
Yeah.
Yeah, but go ahead and ask.
I'm sorry, how many people do we have?
8. No, 7.
7, okay.
7 people on here, yeah.
So, and now your question is that, what do you think that how we take
how your conversations are going so far with when you're talking to these leads?
I would say pretty good, because it all depends, you know this, like in this game, when they pick up the phone and they talk, conversation can go on. But I think the only challenge we all see is that they don't pick up the phone. When they don't pick up the phone, nothing happens.
Exactly.
Right?
And my motto on that is everyone has been drilled with speed to lead, and they forget consistency with the lead because they're so focused on getting to the lead as soon as it comes in, but they don't try 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And that is where the money is in that consistency of attempting to get a hold of them and not at the same time every day. Because if it's convenient for you to sit down at your computer or to sit down with your phone and dial leads at 9 o'clock every morning, well, if that person is walking into work and starting their workday and you're always calling them between 9 and 9:15, nothing's going to change. They're never going to answer their phone. But if you change up your times from, okay, I'll call you at 9 o'clock today and didn't get you, I'll call you at lunchtime today, I'll call you after work, and I'll call you in the evening. So you space out the different time frames within 5 to 6 dials, and you're increasing your chances of them actually picking up their phone. And the more they see the number, the more curious they're going to be on who is this that keeps calling me.
So I have a question here
Yes.
that when, for example, if I call someone in the morning, 9 o'clock, as per you said, he did not pick up the phone. Do you think it would be a good idea to try that number, to call that number again within the same day at lunchtime?
Sure.
And if he does not pick up the phone even during the lunch hour, do you think calling him again in the evening would not tick him off, saying, who the hell is this? Like, he's just calling me like 3 times a day, and that is, based on your experience, your knowledge, your expertise, what do you think? Would this
What was the
would this
last
make him?
thing? What was the
Mhm.
last thing that you researched and made a purchase on?
Oh, there was a lot that not me, but the kids did, right? So, they had done mostly the internet research, and
Okay,
then they already have that decided that they're gonna go to that particular place, pick that thing up, and do it, and
correct.
get it. Hmm.
And when you get to that point where you're ready to go buy it, you're ready to have a conversation with somebody.
Correct.
So I don't care if they're mad at me on the other end of the phone, because all I'm trying to do is my job to the best of my ability. And I can only do my job if I know what your situation is and you give me the information to be able to help you. So that is that reverse mindset of, I feel like I'm bothering people because we think that we're a telemarketer, because that's what it feels like that we're doing. But whenever we step back and say, these people were online looking for something, I want to make sure that they found what they were looking for. I want to make sure that they got all the information that they needed and see if they have any questions. So that takes the I'm bothering you out of the picture to I'm trying to help you. So only you know what your level is going to be on helping people. Because when you catch somebody that genuinely wants to have a conversation because they have a burning question, you're gonna have a great conversation and you've got that lead because you were diligent and you were consistent, and they're going to appreciate that. The rest of the people you piss off, hey, I would rather piss them off on a phone call than be out showing them properties and then be that high maintenance client that I can't wait to get rid of.
Get it. And Beverly, I think I mentioned this to Crystal that I would have to step out. I'll keep my phone on, I'll have my headsets on, but I need to step out. And I think I believe that I would be probably joining another call like this again, for sure.
Wonderful.
And do you think that Crystal was mentioning that you will probably be making a call or something, or?
Yeah, I'm actually, this list that I pulled, just so
Mm-hmm.
you know, I pulled the leads that were in basically the tried to contact, and I wanted to make sure that we didn't miss any if they were in a not set or new lead status.
Okay.
So I pulled everybody that was in that you have not spoke to, supposedly,
Okay.
or has responded. And then I made sure that the phone validity was that we don't know it, or that we know that it's valid. And they've been active with the emails in the last 30 days. And there's eight leads in here.
Okay.
So these are, in my opinion, the highest priority, because the beauty of this is this one right here, December 9th of 2018.
Yep.
Something, they were just active a day ago, whether they looked at an email or they did something.
Yep.
There was something that happened there. It looks like, did you try calling them maybe today?
I would have to check that which one you're talking about right now. So hold on. So
It's 4 hours. It looks like you may have tried calling them.
Hold on. So I'll just take a look and then see if I can find out that which one we are talking about. Crystal, is there a way that you can text me the name of the person, because I can't see on her screen?
I'm only looking on her screen.
Well, here, I'll do this real quick. Let me click on it.
Do you have?
Abdul.
Okay. Oh.
So you called, yeah, he called this morning, it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, this guy. Voicemail.
It was
Okay,
4
yeah.
hours ago.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay,
So I'm just going to try him again
okay.
because
Are
these are
you
your
gonna call
highest
him?
priorities.
You gonna call him?
Yep.
Okay, good.
So the only thing that may happen is they may ring your phone back because they'll say, I just missed a call from this number, or you just called me. Oh yeah, you must have been online looking at homes. Yes, we've been making some phone calls. Who am I speaking with? And then that way you can have the conversation. And because they're calling back from the dialer, it will record the conversation in the notes so that if you're out and about, you can come back and update the notes. And you can move him accordingly. You can set the task, you can put a tag on him, whatever it may be. What define hot lead? Why does it have a hot lead tag?
Okay, because this guy, he came to me last year for renting a property. And then I kind of showed him few properties he didn't like, and then he found a property either at his own or maybe with someone else. But he mentioned that he's getting married and then he would need a property for his own family later on. So that was like a little long-term plan. He said that it's gonna probably be next year.
Okay.
We're gonna be buying a property. So, and to be honest, I've been trying to chase him, and all those calls are not here. But I have, whenever I could, I did try it from my phone to call him. And as you mentioned, I didn't check that, but as you mentioned, definitely I'll do that as well. He went on system and checked something, right? You can see that he has received 145 emails. That means
Yeah.
his email sequence is just continuously going on. So these type of people, they are something different, I should say.
And he must have, because it's showing last active 308 days ago, but it was active on the dashboard. So it must have been an email that he opened. Yep.
Yeah, he opened yesterday, right?
Yeah. So
Yep.
the only feedback I'm going to give you here is there's no notes in here dictating that he was a lead that you worked with a year ago.
How many nodes do we see here? Only 4?
How many what? No, there's no, I went the whole way back. It goes back to December 9th.
Yeah, I created this one manually and then Abdul Yaman accepted, da 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 da. See this Burlington position July to 9 assignment class price is unbelievable. Oh, that is something I sent him. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't have detailed notes on him.
Yep. And he's in try to contact. So that is important for me when I go to make phone calls, because then I can target the conversation to him. You'll say,
Mhm.
hey, I know you were working with Mansoor a year ago, you were renting. What's going on with your future situation? Rather than,
so,
oh, I saw that you were active. So he should be in a contacted stage with a reminder if you want to follow up with him, or he should be parked somewhere so that you can watch him from the dashboard. Now, in this case, it worked out because he fell into the filter, but you can see how it gets confusing and how we can repeat calling people if we're not moving them in the proper stages of that pipeline.
So, and sorry, I'm just stepping out now. You may want to call.
No worries.
But I'm not
just
in
giving you a
front
little
of
bit of
computer
feedback
anymore.
there, but
So.
I'm gonna now that all right, hang on. Did we just set the dialer up? I don't remember how to close this and eliminate it from popping up again. Okay, I did it. Never mind. I remembered. I forgot I remembered.
Sometimes that happens.
Hello?
Abdul?
Speaking.
Hey, this is Beverly. I am just doing a quick follow-up. I know you had, I'm going to do a blast from the past. It's been about a year ago. You had been speaking with Mansoor about renting a home, and you said that plans may be changing and you may be thinking about a purchase. I'm just kind of wondering where you are in the process. What's that?
Who is it?
This is Beverly. You have been in Mansoor's website looking at homes. He's been sending you some emails.
I mean, can't seem to hear you very well, and this is not the best time for me to talk. Can I give you a call another time?
Absolutely, and then we'll go right to Mansoor, and we'll try and follow up with you another time, okay?
Okay, I'll give you a call at this number. Is that okay?
That is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. With that, are you still on here?
Yep.
I would shoot him a quick text message. I would maybe not do it right this second, but I would send him a text message later this evening and say, hey, Beverly said that she had spoke with you real quick and you were having a hard time hearing. I just wanted to check in with you and just restart that conversation again via text.
But see, here's my what do you call? Hold on. So let me get in my car. Here's my take on this. That this guy, when he saw a different number, he just picked up the phone right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he saw my number, which he actually did, replied back and forth so many times. When I was showing him the rental properties, he was responding right immediately because at that time he needed the property, right?
Yep.
He wanted to have a property, he was replying. But after that, when he found a property, after that, he just stopped picking up the phone.
Yep.
And today you just dialed in one ring or two rings. He just went on and picked up the phone and spoke to you.
Yep.
So it's just one person, but I'm just saying, if I text him, he's probably my feeling that he's not going to respond.
Well, text him from your system. Text him from here.
Oh,
text him from this number.
Can Crystal, can you do that for me? Because I'm right now in my car, I'm driving.
Well, I'm going to suggest doing it this evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would suggest doing it this evening. So what I'll do is I will set you a reminder for this evening to send him a text message.
And saying that, you know what, yeah, Abdul, I know that you were having a conversation with something, whatever.
I am actually going to type out what you're going to text him. How about that?
Beautiful.
Just copy and
I'm
paste.
going to text it. Yeah, I'll copy and paste. You know why? Because it's just like kind of testing thing, right? Like, I just want to know. I just want to see what impact it makes. But I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean here, but my feeling is that he saw a different number. He picked up the phone.
And, but okay, maybe he did, but nothing gained, nothing lost. He answered the phone. And that's where we can't focus on one situation, because what I hear agents do all the time is they say every single lead's a bad number because the last two were, or every single lead hangs up on me because the last one did. So we can't look at one situation and say it's all of them, and we can't overthink why they do what they do.
I totally agree.
All we're doing in that situation is we're redirecting because we don't want to have to keep doing. That's all that is. Because it's not, well, it is for me because I'm ridiculous, but it's not fun calling leads. It's something that we have to do to create business, and we have to be very tactical and strategical about it to be different than our competition to win. So we're either going to enjoy the challenge and roll with it, or we're going to make excuses and complain about it. Because everyone has their own, little faux pas as far as when they answer the phone, why they don't answer the phone, what they say when they pick up the phone.
I mean, I have a quick question. I definitely will ask Crystal as well. That, do you think after I finish this, like I'm just out right now, do you think I can have a quick chat with you as well, Beverly?
About what, babe?
I have like few things that I don't have my notebook right in front of me right now because, as I said, right, I'm driving. But I would love to call you and then just ask you a few things.
Yeah, shoot me an email. I'll schedule a time.
And I am a person who believes in that. You know what? Excuses are not the way. You cannot make excuses. There has to be a way to find out a solution. Giving up does nothing, right? It's only a loss. But
Exactly.
you gotta try different things, and different things should work. And it may work at a point of time, may not work at 5 times, but may work at 6 time, or maybe you work at 8 time. I don't know. Like, it's just kind of not very pleasant experience to keep calling again and again.
I
But
know.
it is what it is.
Exactly. You know, that's why I always say, what pain is greater, picking up the phone and trying to get a hold of the leads, or not having the business?
Correct.
And the only reason I can say that is my pain of not having the business was greater than me picking up the phone 11 years ago whenever I started doing this.
Right.
Because it was painful for me too. I didn't see the big picture. I just saw what I was doing in the moment, and I did not like it at all. I didn't like getting hung up on. I didn't like getting yelled at. But the reality is, when I found the great ones, it made it all worth the while. And then when I realized it actually works, that's what I built my business on.
Exactly. So yeah.
All right, so I've set you a task for Abdul.
Okay.
And if you've got to go, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and make some phone calls. But if you can listen, that would be great.
I can be on phone. That's fine.
Oh,
but
okay, good.
I'm driving, right? So I would love to listen. That's fine. I may not be able to ask questions or write something down.
Okay.
I can be on the call.
And then make this to PM. Oh, we actually have like real time on here. All right, there we go. Oh, I love it. That makes me so happy. Oh no, I want it on this one.
What were you trying to do?
I wanted to edit this one.
Yeah, so down there to edit that one.
I thought I was.
Text him.
Now I'm confused. What do I have open?
You don't have, you went to go create a new one, is what it looks like anyway.
Where's my edit? Okay. It's not opening to let me edit. All right, you have an overdue task for tonight. It's set for 10 a.m. Just remember it's tonight.
Not sure.
You're putting it for 10
No,
PM?
no.
It defaulted for 10 this morning, and it's not letting me go back and edit it.
Oh.
So you'll see the task on.
So this one, it was, it's in, well, let me see. No, we're good. Never mind. This is Mary. Mary. I can't believe we actually got the first person I dialed. How many did we dial last week?
I know. It was pretty good. If anyone has any questions, feel free to pop it in the Q&A or the chat. That way we can answer them for you guys. If you guys are live on Facebook as well, just pop your questions in and we'll do our best to answer them while on the session.
That's a heck of a name.
Yeah.
Looks like alphabet soup.
I would just call her 3.
You've reached Sri Raksha Bhagawan.
Try saying that, Beverly.
That's a good number. I let it go for a defined purpose because I wanted to see how you said her name. If it was like, Sri Raksha, that's it. Good number. Yeah, I was strategic with that one. Sometimes if you don't see the names, that's why I always like to let the first ring go to voicemail, because you can determine a lot of things there.
Mm-hmm.
Beverly?
Yes.
The name or number you just dialed?
Uh-huh.
That is one of my lead as well.
Yep, I'm dialing your leads.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, they're all your leads she's calling right now.
Okay. I thought maybe you're on another list. Sorry.
No, I just saw the name. I'm like, woo.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Camille.
Yep.
Hey, this is Beverly. I am doing a quick check-in with you. It looks like you've been looking at some condos in Mississauga.
Sorry?
Have you been online looking at condos?
Looking for condo?
Yeah. Are you looking
No.
for a home in Mississauga?
No.
No?
No, who tell you that?
Do I have a wrong number?
Yeah, I think you're the wrong number.
You're not looking to buy a home?
Sorry, no, I know looking for the home. No.
All right. My apologies. You have a great day.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. So it's a bad email and a bad number. So we're going to go ahead and move him to wrong number. These are the only leads that will go to garbage because we don't need them. So what I do is I did wrong number. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then the pipeline stage, I'll go ahead and move them to garbage. Because there's no way of communicating. It's a bad email and a bad number. We have no valid information.
But just to say, this guy I called and left a message. It was the same name voicemail, right? It was a voicemail with his name. How can that?
Oh,
be
he did
possible
say it
that
was
someone-
Kamir. He did say it was Kamir, didn't he?
Yeah. It's not a wrong number. Could be a language barrier a little bit.
It's not language barrier. He's a liar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he could also be a liar as well.
Sorry.
So here's the thing. If
It's
he's
just
going to tell me that,
lying in the face, you know. So
well, and do you want to work with people like that?
no,
No, exactly.
absolutely right. Yeah.
And he's in. You're telling me your price range is 500 and above. He's 430, 450 condo. So not only is he lying, he's in a low price point. See you later, alligator.
Alligator, yeah. Because I had another. I think yesterday I spoke to Crystal about, right? And I just texted her, right? I texted her, and that number was out of province number. I texted her right back, and Crystal told me not to do it, I think, afterwards. But you know what? The moment she got the text, she goes, "No, stop. You got the wrong number." Come on. You know, the text went through.
That might be.
Well, it
tell
could
me
be
the
a
wrong
valid
number.
number, Mansur. It's just people will give real numbers but don't belong to them, right? So they just put in a 647, blah, 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 and then it actually belongs to somebody. It just doesn't belong to that person. So we just move then the phone to invalid and move their pipeline back to try to contact.
Well, and I wasn't quick enough to be able to remember that I said, "Hey, come here," and he said yes. So had I been quick enough, I would have called him out on it. But the reality is that would have just been for the fun of it because it wasn't going to go anywhere. He's not a serious buyer.
Right.
All right. So
anyway,
let's call Joe. That's why you never know. It's calling leads is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened with Beverly. Oh,
What
are you
happened?
back? I have no idea what happened. It just started like making this like ticking sound. I thought maybe you were like turning. I don't know.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know I wasn't on. I'm like, tell me about this prospecting tag, and I'm like, oh wait, there's nobody there.
There's nobody. Well, and it was just kind of like all of a sudden it just went black, but we could still see your screen share. So it was kind of. It was just. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Can you explain to me the tag prospect buyer? Do we still have him?
Yeah, I believe so. Mansoor?
Yes.
Oh, she wants to know what the tag that you applied, prospect buyer, what were your intentions with that tag?
I mean, they had a potential of buying a property with me.
How do you
But
know?
I mean, it is, I think, kind of mixed perception about different people, different perceptions.
Okay.
So I'm only going to be able to tell you by looking at the lead. Not. I mean, it's a tag, right? But we can. It's a
tag.
very generalized tag.
But I don't think you've had a conversation with them.
I mean, I cannot tell you if I don't know the name. So what's the name?
No, and that could have been something he added previously as well. All these leads coming into this website, they're all buyers. It's more or less adding another tag if they're also a seller as well. And that's the situation I put is like seller. That allows you to identify that they're also a listing opportunity for yourself.
Right. So if you look at the, I think, notes, I definitely would have put a note in there.
Notes.
There's one with respect to a text, but that's it. You sent them a text or something.
No response. It's and honestly, whenever I ask you what the tag means, it has no consequence to the actual lead because your tag has to have a meaning to apply to a lead. So
well, I think that is also something I need to work on because I know, I understand, I know what you're saying, but it has to make sense, right? It can't just be a tag and tag.
Yeah, because I mean the leads they're buyer leads that are coming in, but yes, they can be disguised as sellers because what do sellers do before they put their home on the market? They're looking at the market.
Yeah, and I actually happened to be in contact with one of them, actually two of them.
Good.
They came to me from some other source, but they asked me that, you know what, I need a person who can help me with buying. Actually, they were not a buyer yet because they have to sell their property.
But they're still a buyer. They're still going to want to receive those listings.
They're still a buyer, but before they sell their property, right?
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good mom, I'm so sorry about that. We're just sitting here in the office chit-chatting. How are you?
Sorry, hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Beverly. I am just checking in with you. It looks like you've been online looking at some homes in Mississauga.
Oh, no, I was just bored, so I was just looking, at houses that if there was any sale going on around my house, that's it.
How long have you been in your home?
Sorry?
How long have you been in your home?
12 years, about, I think 19 years.
Okay, so no plans on making a move? Just wondering what's going on with the market?
Yeah, just go checking the market, that's it.
Wonderful. Do you live in a neighborhood?
Sorry?
Do you live in a neighborhood? Would you be interested in receiving some listings to keep up to date with what's going on with the market?
No, not now.
Okay. Well, so no future plans on a move, right?
Yeah, not at the moment. Yeah, maybe in another few years. Yeah,
okay.
Not now.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, you'll be getting some listings from Mansoor, and we'll just keep you up to date on what's happening. And, if anything changes, give us a holler.
Sure, I will.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
She answered. You guys are like talking for like 30 seconds. And she still stayed on the phone. I'm like, hello.
I know a lot of people would hang up. I know when I get a call like that and you hear all you can hear is people talking, you're like, what is going on?
That's why I'm like, I'm like, we're all in the office talking. Sorry about that. So do you see how I dug a little bit deeper to find out? Like, I wanted to get what subdivision she was in. But, I wanted to get like what location she was in, but she wasn't really forthcoming with information. And then I had to ask, is there any future plans? She's been in her home for, what'd she say, 19 years?
Yep.
So that's what we call toe tag home. She's probably not going to be making a move. You're in your home 19 years. I don't see the reason, you know what I mean? So she's probably not lying.
Yep.
I just like, when I got them captive on the phone, I like to get as much information as I can, because I have to know where to put them in the aisle of the grocery store. Because if I ever want to go back, because I'm like desperate to talk to somebody, I can go back to her if I haven't talked to her for a year. Hey, we talked like a year ago. I know you've been in your house 19 years. Just anything changed? And that way you have great notes on them. And you have more detail than anybody else in your market has.
Right.
And Beverly, you did try to move her to the point, you know, you're trying to get her neighborhood and what have you, and you want to receive alerts, and she kind of turned that down. But for anyone that's watching, if you also have a branded website with us, that's where you kind of pitch your whole street match nosy neighbor. Because you can say, you can set them up, and what it's going to do is, and depending on your board, you can potentially send people sold listings as well. So it's going to be completely reflective of where that potential seller lives. So they're staying on top of the market that's going to have a direct impact on their home value. And so, Mansoor, that's something that you may be able to also do with her, you know, kind of watch her activity a bit and then follow up with her, because that would be most beneficial to her.
The last call you made?
Yeah. You know, perhaps give her a little bit of time based on her activity, but try to get her on that street match, because that's going to be the most effective for keeping her in tune with the market.
Yep.
I understand, but I understand, but I think making a comment right now, I think, is not that easy for me, because number one, that I'm not very clear right now on. I mean, see, this is an example that makes me think. I mean, a lot about that. When Beverly called, right, she picked up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm not going to go in that gender difference, but I mean, I think she was very comfortable talking to her.
You're thinking too hard about it. You're making an assumption, and you're making an assumption on something that you don't actually know.
But this is the difference, right? That this is the difference between people, that she was, the important thing is she was very honest. She just went straightforward. She said, no, I was just looking, I was bored. I just wanted to find out and see that what's happening in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something nice. That is something good.
Actions will speak louder than words, though. You watch her activity.
Correct.
Because I've had people say, you know, I'm not interested in the listings, and then they're in there every single day checking out the listings.
Yep. Well, because they want to end the conversation quickly, because they really think you're going to try and sell them something. And that's where having that barrier breakdown of asking the questions to get them a little bit more comfortable. And, you know, as I go in conversation in my pitch, when I go to set up the appointment, I'm like, I'm not here to sell you anything. We just want to educate you on the market and be able to understand your expectations to see if it's going to work. I don't know that we're going to be able to find you the home that you're looking for, but I'm never going to know, and I'm not going to be able to do my job unless we do uncover these pieces of expectations. So I always take it away from them and say, I'm not trying to sell you anything. And heck, even my listing appointments, I never showed up with the listing contract. And I would tell them on the phone, I'm not coming with the listing contract, and I'm not coming with a sign, I'm not coming with a lockbox. My intention is to come there to give you enough information for you to make an educated decision, for me to show my value, that you want to list with me because you truly believe that I am the best agent for you, period. And that's what we're here for. We're telling them our story, we're solving their problems, and we're giving them something of value that they're not going to get from anybody else. Or because our story is going to relay to them that we are better than anybody else, because we care, because we're asking the questions and we're digging deeper than most people dig. I've been training agents for 9 years, and nothing has ever changed. I promise you, the things that you're saying and the way that you're thinking is 99% of your market. When you rise above that and be a little bit different than your competition, it doesn't take much, unfortunately, to win. We just have to change our mindset and say, hey, these leads were looking at something. I just got to figure out why. Yeah, I mean, I've got some people, I remember conversations where my grandma was in town, because I got the mom on the phone, and she goes, that's my daughter. And I said, is she looking? And she started laughing. She's like, hardly, she's 12. She says, my mom was here over the holidays, and my daughter really wants her to move here, so she must have gone online and looked at homes for grandma. Everybody has a story. It's just up to us to get it out of them, to find out what their story is, to see if, do they need our services? If not, then see you later. And like Crystal was saying with this lead, yeah, you could go in and I mean, shame on me for not knowing that, but I'm not an agent in AgentLocator. But yeah, and you know, I moved her to seller, not sell. I did a seller tag, not selling. Because in essence, you had her marked as a buyer prospect with the tag, but in essence, she would be a seller. So whenever I asked her, I said, so you have no intentions of moving. So she's not doing either, really. But I put her in the seller category because she's not selling, because she has a home that she has to sell.
Correct.
So you can go back, anybody else that you put in those tags, you can look and go, oh, she's been active. Wonder if she's getting the right properties. And then try and get her home address. Because this could be a future potential listing lead in 2 years. Could be. And, you know, I always say could be, and I always recommend, you know how busy you are in your business. These are those leads that you know you've had a conversation, you've identified their situation. This could be if you start a team in a couple of years, go scrub all the leads that I've spoke to in my tags. Or your business takes a shift and you're scurrying, you're not generating new leads anymore, but you're scurrying to try and get business. You can go back to your tags and start resurrecting conversations that you've had. So it's not that I'm telling you, you know, oh, there's possibility with every single lead in here, because you only have so much time in a day, and you got to take care of your higher priority leads. But it all starts with a conversation.
Right.
So we had a couple good conversations today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got a little more people here this week than we did last week. And I made like over 20 dials last week. I think
no one answered.
Calls today.
I mean, you can't blame last week. Last week was just the beginning right after the holiday.
Yeah, New Year's. Yep.
And I think it's going to get better by time. I think maybe, yeah.
For sure. Well, it has been a pleasure. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. The first of February already. Woo, where are we?
I know. I go. The funny thing is when we're getting Mansoor for this, I go in and I guess there'd only been dates set up until the end of 2019. So I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the webinar? And so I had to go and create more dates. Or everyone would have been like, where am I going for this? It doesn't exist. So, but yeah, no, it's been great. Thank you for Beverly, and thank you for Mansoor as well.
Thank you for allowing me to play in your dashboard there, Mansoor.
Oh, thank you so much. No problem. And I would probably connect with you if you don't mind. I don't know when, but when is the best time? Do you think I can?
Shoot me
I
an
can
email.
just have probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, shoot me an email, and we'll get on the calendar, or you can shoot me a text. But the best way to reach me initially is text or email. Okay, so do I have your number to text you?
I will. I'll send you Beverly's email address, Mansoor.
Perfect, Crystal. Thank
Please,
you.
please. That'd be nice. Okay, good.
Have a wonderful day, all. Bye.
Both of you and all of you, whoever is on the call right now, thank you so much.
Yeah. Sounds great. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.